My first flight with the A1 was a bit controversial, and today I'll show it to you all.
Transmission lost. So far I'm not super impressed, to be fair. Oh, this is the sketchiest part. Oh wow. Oh, with the car passing.
Ridiculous.
Nice.
Ridiculous. God, you're ridiculous.
Doing nothing, smagging every day around you. People know you frontin'. You telling me you got it, you must be doing nothing. Smagging every day around you. People know you frontin'. You telling me you got it.
I'm super excited for this video because not often you get the chance to test out not only just a new drone but also a completely different flying experience. Today we have the Antigravity A1. It's a 360 drone, the first of its kind, and it's my very first flight with it. I'm super pumped for this drone, not only because of the drone itself, but also because it comes with new goggles, new remote controller, new transmission system, new interface. Everything is new and fresh, and I'm so pumped to give it a go and see a brand new system in action. With that being said, let's get right into my very first flight with this drone. Okay, recording, motor started. Okay, and we are in the air. Oh wow, okay, let's go. Let's go and see how things look like on this drone. Let's gain some altitude first. Wow, this is weird. And let's just take a look around. Oh, this is the sketchiest part when you look down. Looking to the side is fine, but when you look down is where you get the shivers. Wow. So we're at this cool location that unfortunately has dried up quite a bit. It's a lake that is so beautiful when it's full, but right now it's not really full. So, ooh, okay. We're getting some low signal pop-ups already, but here we should have some pretty cool potential shots to explore with this drone. And yeah, getting low signal already. How is that even possible? Let me just, yeah, this is the shot that I wanted to make. I want to go through the gap while some cars are passing by and kind of have this FPV shot. Okay, I have to say the transmission is a bit choppy and I'm not really liking it that much. It's quite choppy if I have to be completely honest. I'm recording in 8K. Not sure what the frame rate of this experience is. It's weird. I have to say it's weird. Like looking around and exploring, it's fine. But when you start flying, let's just... With the fog, it looks spectacular, but let's go a little bit higher so we are clear of the wires. And let's just go over these things. The bridge. This is a very old bridge. I think it's a very nice location for trying out this drone. With the forest here. Now it's a little bit better. Oh, no, it's not better. How is it possible? I'm right next to it. You can see, guys, I'm right next to it. I'm right here. I don't even know how to turn properly. This is really my first flight. I just need to turn my head, or how do you turn with the remote? With just by... Okay. So far, I'm not super impressed, to be fair. I'm impressed by the experience that it gives you, but it's so freaking choppy that I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm right here. You can see me. I'm here. And it's not giving me very smooth, like, transmission. So I don't think I'll be able to use this like a true FPV drone and like maybe do some dives. And I've seen people do it, so I'm not sure what's the deal here. This is so ridiculously choppy. It's It's super, super choppy. Let's go up. I mean, it would have been amazing to fly here with the proper signal strength and just enjoy the scenery. That, you know, you can go under so many things and go over things and combine that. I'm not going to go under that. I don't trust this drone. Not yet, at least, but... Oh, with the car passing. Nice. I mean, I must be doing something wrong, right? Everything is set to auto, so I don't know. Maybe I'll need to try out another location. It might be the interference from all of these concrete blocks here, but let's go that way. Let's go that way. Let's not do the same. We have 77% battery, so we're good to go. Let's go that way a little bit and see how our signal will be. So we're 100 meters away now. Let's go a little bit higher so we have... Yeah, my antennas are up. 200 meters. It's choppy as hell. You know what? Let me stop recording so I can see if that changes anything. So... Okay guys, so now I would just be here on this camera and tell you if the signal is any better. No, it's not. I'm not recording now, so there should be a little bit more, you know, bandwidth available. So now it's a little bit, not really better, but I wish it's better. Maybe I'm seeing things that are not really true. I have such high expectations. Wow, this is a mess in my screen. It's blocky, it's glitchy. 350 transmission lost. Okay, it's coming back, I think.
Return to home canceled.
Okay, cancelled, return to home. And I can take control now, but yeah, I'm not really happy, to be fair, guys. I'm not happy at all with what is going on.
So back to the studio for a few more additions and updates. So it turns out the location was a big part of the problem. After I switched to another location, I had a lot better results. The choppiness was reduced significantly. Still, it was not the best. One of my biggest complaints about this drone still remains the transmission system, which unfortunately, at least in CE mode, which is where I am, does not give me a lot of confidence to fly a little bit further and to explore more with this drone. As an FPV pilot, range, transmission, latency, and also camera quality is my biggest concern and the biggest factors that contribute to whether I like a certain drone or not. So for me, I have not so much confidence in going through obstacles and getting close to them because I just don't have that low latency that I can rely on to properly see where I'm actually flying. I think the A1 might be geared towards people who are more into exploring and just having fun, looking around and capturing that footage, but it's not super good for getting close to obstacles, getting through obstacles, hitting those small gaps and just flying it more like an FPV, traditional FPV drone. I don't think it's necessarily very good at this. Now, in terms of image quality, unfortunately, the Antigravity A1 only records in 8-bit. At the end of 2025, I am expecting a little bit more from these cameras and these sensors. Now, don't get me wrong, 10-bit is great. However, 8-bit on this drone in 8K 30 frames per second still looks pretty good. Now, I tried it in a couple of different lighting scenarios. We're not really experiencing very good weather here, so I don't really know about the dynamic range of this drone yet, so that is to be determined later down the line. But for now, from what I've experienced with this drone and for what I'm seeing on my computer trying to edit this footage, it looks great straight out of the box. Now, it does take a little bit of color grading, but it's not too much. So if you apply my super grade LUTs, for example, you will still be able to get a little bit more punchy and vibrant footage out of this drone, but don't expect the footage to take some heavy grading without breaking up. Still, I have to say the image quality seems very good from what I've seen so far, and big asterisk, I still haven't experienced the full sensor possibilities of this drone in a scenario that requires a lot of dynamic range, such as, for example, sunrise or sunset. As for the image itself, if you have worked with 360 footage before, it's exactly the same thing. It's just from aerial perspective. So you still have the ability to change your field of view, change the pitch, the roll, the yaw, and you have full flexibility to edit the footage the way you want. You can do so much with your image and just really point your attention towards a specific thing and change it and be super dynamic with it. So I'm a big fan of that, and you can use both the Antigravity app on your phone or Antigravity Studio, which is exactly the same thing as Insta360 Studio for your computer. So it gives you full flexibility to edit your footage, to properly frame it, to change the angles, the perspective, everything. So you can do whatever you want with it pretty much, and then export it and use it for your needs. One major thing that I want to point out, and as a huge positive for Antigravity in general, is how good their user interface and their quality of products seem to be. Now, I'm a huge fan of what they're doing in terms of their design language, of their user interface, the menus, the fonts, even how this remote controller shows you how much battery you have. So when you press it, just those little green lines that indicate how much battery you have. It looks like a fighter jet, especially the goggles themselves with the built-in display on the front. I'm not sure why people don't like them. I feel like these are fantastic. They're the most beautiful goggles I have ever used, that's for sure. They're much better looking than the Goggles 3, for example, from DJI. With this display, it's actually quite nice to see when you're updating the firmware. You can follow the process here and just observe while it's updating, so you don't have to properly put them on every single time just to check how far the update has come. And also, of course, when you're flying, people can also see what you are seeing, so that's great as well. The camera on the front is great if you want to quickly grab something and you don't want to remove the goggles from your face. I did that a couple of times when the controller was in my backpack and I was wearing a beanie. I didn't want to mess up everything because, you know, it's a tight fit, so I didn't want to remove the goggles, and I just used the camera to grab it to properly see what I'm holding and which button is which, because I'm still learning the controls, and it works flawlessly. So I think in general, what Antigravity is doing with their first ever 360 drone is great. There are a couple of shortcomings in my opinion, mostly in terms of the signal strength and the image processing when you are flying a little bit further, and not too much even. 200 meters is not that far for flying an FPV drone or a drone like this. You get a lot of breakup, so the signal degradation is something that I'm not really enjoying because it gets super blurry and messy and everything is just smudgy on your screen, so you don't really see anything. So you just need to let go. You need to rely on the drone to get back to its home point, or at least to try to return home so you can get control over it once again. With that being said, these are just my first initial impressions. I still have just like 5-6 flights on this drone under my belt, so it is super early to give any like big indications of what I think and whether that's a good product or not. These are just my honest first impressions that I wanted to share as quickly as possible, so you know it's the real deal. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I'm not being told what to say. I'm not giving this video for approval to Antigravity or anything like that. I'm just sharing what I experienced with the A1, and so far it's a mixed opinion that, you know, it was a great experience to an extent, but also I had a couple of things that I didn't really like. Of course, there will be a follow-up video that will give you kind of like my final impressions and my final review of this drone after flying it a lot more. So I'll definitely keep you updated on that. So make sure you are subscribed to my channel if you want to see that video when it drops. And I'm even more curious about what DJI has to say about a product like this. Thank you so much for watching. Never stop flying, and I'll catch you in the next one very, very soon. Ciao.